Most of us spend our waking hours in a highly engineered rhythm. We open a glass screen, scroll through a feed, and absorb a relentless stream of immediate, hyper-reactive information. This environment dictates our attention. We get pulled into the daily bickering of politics, anxiety of price hikes, and an endless cycle of commentary where complex ideas are flattened into tribal arguments. The 19th century philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche saw this exact cultural destination approaching. He called the person who inhabits it the last man, a human who actively chooses sedation, comfort, and a bovine equilibrium over the struggle required for vast thinking. Martin Heidegger gave us the social mechanism for this condition, das Man, or the they. This is the anonymous, suffocating weight of public opinion. Das Man tells us what we should care about, how we should react, and ensures everyone remains safely within the boundaries of common sense. We have constructed a society that excels at the petty. It rewards quick validation and actively suppresses the quiet, sustained focus needed to encounter anything larger than ourselves. We live in a spiritual vacuum, completely allergic to awe, which forces a question: where has human greatness gone? To diagnose what we've actually lost, we have to look past modern commentary and return to the 1st century, to an astonishing surviving manuscript by a thinker named Longinus. Longinus wrote a treatise on a concept called the sublime. To him, true artistic and intellectual power is not about writing elegant sentences or persuading an audience. It is an uncontrollable force of nature, a moment when discourse becomes an event that scatters everything before it, leaving a wake of terrified wonder. Here is the difficult part of Longinus's thesis. You cannot learn how to produce this force in a classroom. You cannot crowdsource it. Technical mastery of rhythm or vocabulary is completely secondary. The sublime requires a highly specific, rare state of being. He called this inward condition megalophrosine, grandeur of thought. It is the absolute prerequisite. The mind must already be capable of dwelling among vast, monumental concepts before the mouth can give them voice. Longinus observed that while language can be taught, this capacity for grandeur arises spontaneously from a soul already accustomed to the vast and the noble. It suggests that the ability to conceive truly great ideas is a rare, native endowment of the spirit, rather than a democratically distributed skill. Longinus insists that while rhetorical figures and noble diction can be practiced, grandeur of thought belongs to a different category. It is an ontological state, a native quality of the soul's vision that serves as the indispensable fount for everything else. The person possessing this towering soul operates on a completely different frequency. While the ordinary mind is consumed by the demands of the daily grind, the towering soul is naturally wired to contemplate fate, divinity, empire, and eternity. This perspective requires viewing reality sub specie aeternitatis, under the aspect of eternity. Achieving that view demands a profound, almost physical detachment from the crowd. The towering mind seeks out the silence of high altitudes, the only place quiet enough to perceive the permanent currents of human existence. A petty soul lacks the inner weight to sustain this contemplation. The towering soul possesses a rare internal voltage, allowing it to hold the immense, crushing weight of eternal questions without collapsing into panic. History provides several data points for this elevated consciousness, minds that manage to step outside the current of their own time. Albert Einstein approached the night sky with a sense of profound mystery, viewing it as a gateway to the fundamental emotions of art and science. He possessed the vast internal capacity to hold the entire architecture of space-time in his mind, visualizing gravity as the very curvature of the cosmos. In the realm of philosophy, Baruch Spinoza demonstrated the extreme intellectual objectivity required of this state. He asked us to imagine a falling stone set in motion by an external force that suddenly becomes conscious and believes it is moving entirely by its own free will. Spinoza argued that this is the exact human condition. We are conscious of our desires, but ignorant of the causes that determine them. He stripped away the illusion of free will, repositioning the human being not as a sovereign agent, but as a tiny, entangled mode within the infinite chain of cosmic causation. A normal mind panics at this vertigo and loss of control. The towering soul embraces it, achieving intellectual self-transcendence, finding sublime acceptance as a ripple on the eternal flux of nature. We see this same grandeur of thought expressed spiritually by the Buddha. He possessed the courage to look unflinchingly at the darkest realities of human suffering and impermanence, and state them plainly, without the need for ornament or comforting rhetoric. These minds operated in wildly different disciplines, yet they all share one singular unifying trait: the capacity to step completely outside the petty ego and perceive the infinite whole. Today, the Longinian sublime is in exile in its own time. A mind built for monumental, solitary contemplation cannot thrive in a fragmented, performative ecosystem engineered for likes, shares, and immediate validation. The digital platforms we inhabit are temples to the exact kind of trivial ornament that Longinus rejected. The thunderbolt of true genius is inherently disruptive. In an era dominated by the engineered chatter of Dasman, genuine, elevated thought is drowned out, making it harder to detect and harder to sustain than at any point in human history. If true grandeur of thought is the exclusive biological and spiritual gift of a rare few, we are left with an uncomfortable question: what hope is there for the rest of humanity? Longinus provides a singular consolation. We do not need to originate the thunderbolt ourselves to experience its transport. As he wrote, sublimity is the echo of a great soul. An echo always presupposes an originating sound. When we deliberately engage with the artifacts, the mathematical theorems, the texts, and the ruins left behind by these towering minds, we expose ourselves to that sound. The ordinary mind is temporarily lifted out of the mundane and granted a glimpse of the eternal. We have to actively choose to reject the shallow, sedated equilibrium of the last man. We must seek out these echoes in the silence. It is only by listening for them that we remember the breathtaking heights the human spirit is actually capable of reaching.